So you were talking to this girl for a while and things were going well. One minute, she was calling you every night, laughing at your jokes, making plans for the weekend. The next minute, she's replying late. Her tone is colder. She says, "I've just been busy." But you know that feeling. Something's changed, and now you're left asking yourself, what did I do wrong? First of all, take a breath, because this happens more than you think. When a woman starts pulling away, it's not always about cheating or losing interest. A lot of times, it's deeper than that. So let's talk about the real psychological reasons she might be pulling away, and what you can do to draw her closer again without losing yourself in the process. 1. She feels emotionally unsafe. This isn't about physical safety. This is about feeling emotionally seen and heard. If she shares her feelings and you brush it off or tell her she's overreacting, her brain registers that as danger. Let's say she tells you she feels a little jealous about someone you were chatting with. You say, "Why are you always being insecure?" In your head, you were being honest. But in her mind, you just invalidated her feelings. Over time, if this keeps happening, she starts to pull back to protect herself, not out of spite, but self-preservation. Women are emotional creatures. Their primary focus is on feeling safe and nurtured within the relationship. If they feel they cannot express their emotions openly or if their concerns are consistently dismissed, they will retreat into themselves. They need to feel that their feelings are understood and respected. How to fix it? Instead of shutting her down, try curiosity. Help me understand what made you feel that way. That one line alone can melt a wall. By demonstrating genuine curiosity and a willingness to understand her perspective, you communicate that you are a safe person to open up to. 2. You were too available too soon. Here's a hard truth. Sometimes being too eager can backfire. You cancel plans to see her. You reply in seconds. You say yes to everything. And at first, she might enjoy the attention, but then it starts to feel predictable. Human psychology craves a bit of tension, a bit of mystery. When you make yourself the center of her universe too early, you remove the chase. It's not about playing games. It's about keeping your own life alive. Men often think that constant availability and immediate responses are signs of strong interest. However, this can be overwhelming for women, making them feel smothered rather than pursued. How to fix it? Do and abandon your passions or routines just because someone new entered your world. Keep doing you. That's what attracted her in the first place. Maintain your independence and continue pursuing your own interests and hobbies. This allows you to have a fulfilling life outside of your relationship with her. 3. She doesn't feel chosen. She feels convenient. This one stings. Sometimes a woman can tell when you're just there because it's comfortable. You don't plan dates anymore. You don't ask her deep questions. You just go through the motions. To her, it feels like she's just there not because you deeply want her, but because it's easy. And if a woman feels like she's not actively being chosen, she starts to emotionally detach. Men often fall into the trap of complacency within long-term relationships. They become comfortable and stop putting effort into nurturing their romantic connection. How to fix it? Show intention. Ask how she's really doing. Plan something small but thoughtful. Remind her she's not just in your life, she's important to it. Plan a surprise or a thoughtful gesture. It doesn't have to be expensive, just meaningful. This demonstrates that you're invested in the relationship and that you value her presence in your life. 4. She senses you're not being fully real. Women are intuitive. If you're putting on a front, trying to impress, always wearing a mask, she'll feel it. Even if she can't explain it. Maybe you never talk about your struggles. You avoid deep conversations. You laugh off serious topics. At first, it may seem like you're just chill, but after a while, it feels hollow. Intimacy grows in truth, not performance. How to fix it? Be real. If you're nervous, say so. If you don't have it all together, admit it. Vulnerability is magnetic when it's honest. Share your true thoughts and feelings with her, even if it's uncomfortable. This creates a deeper bond and helps her see you as a real person rather than a perfect image. 5. She's overwhelmed and doesn't know how to say it. Not every distance is personal. Sometimes she's dealing with stress, family drama, career pressure, her own inner battles. But she doesn't want to dump it all on you. So instead of saying, "I'm not okay," she withdraws. And we interpret that as rejection. Men often assume that a woman pulling away means she's losing interest, when in fact, she might be struggling with external pressures and needs support. How to fix it? Don't push, just gently check in. I've noticed you've been a little distant. Is there anything you'd like to talk about, or do you just need a little space? That shows emotional maturity and gives her room to come back willingly. Give her space without being pushy. Let her know you're there for her when she's ready to open up. So how do you bring her closer? It starts with this. Stop trying to fix her. Instead, get curious, stay calm, and most importantly, stay connected to who you are. Want to draw her closer? Be the kind of man who's not afraid to hold space for silence, emotion, and truth. It's not flashy, but it's what builds real connection. Final words she might be pulling away, but that doesn't always mean it's the end. Sometimes it's just a sign, a signal, an invitation to go deeper. Ask the hard questions, listen twice as much, and don't forget to stay grounded in your own worth, because the right woman doesn't want perfect. She wants present. And if this hit home for you, drop a like, hit subscribe, and share it with someone who needs to hear this. Fun Psychology is where we decode human behavior in a way that just makes sense.